All right, guys, pictures up.
Pictures up.
Pictures up.
Let's roll sound.
Rolling.
Rolling.
Sound speeds.
Camera speeds. 2. Asham. Take 2. Mark.
Set. And action.
Welcome to the Penn Cinema Podcast, your behind-the-curtain connection for movie news and reviews. Now here are your hosts, Penn Ketchum and David Moulton.
Welcome to the show. I'm David Moulton.
And I'm Penn Ketchum. What's up?
Penn,
I hope we can make it through this.
I don't know if we can.
Well, I think we will because I ate my Wheaties.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I had good, strong, healthy breakfast this morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you notice on the front, it was the podcast edition, it was me on the front?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I noticed that, absolutely. Right. And then I put the box back on the shelf and grabbed a different box with Michael Jordan. I was like,
Right.
I don't need to be looking at David when I'm eating breakfast.
Right.
You know?
But Michael Jordan had a caption that said, "Have you heard about the Penn Cinema Podcast?"
Right, that's exactly what it was. And I just want to thank you because I know you did that effort with General Mills and you went through the whole thing and had those meetings in Omaha. That was
Right.
a lot of traveling.
And you were busy.
I was.
With the expansion and everything
the
downstairs.
bar. Yeah.
And I was like, don't worry. I'll take the bullet for Wheaties.
Well, I think the last thing you said before you left the office was, don't worry, I'll get your face on the box too.
Yeah.
And then somehow, somewhere between here and Omaha, things changed because the box that I saw when I was at Stouffer's the other day was only David.
It's weird.
It's weird.
They told me yours was going to be on there too.
Right. I hate it when that happens. So that's why you got to get shit in writing.
That's right.
You know.
Speaking of which, did you see our Valentine's Day promo?
I did. Yes.
You like your eyes were real hearts?
Yes. I didn't know what to make of that. I kind of chuckled and then I was like, wait a minute.
I don't know. I just thought it would be funny if one of us had hard eyes. I was like, man, I'll do it to Ben.
But then I was thinking, like, is this a burn? Is this like Loki shade?
No,
just something funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Did you get a kick out of seeing the podcast commercial?
I did. The second one that plays right before. It came way later than I thought it was going to.
Well, it actually.
Which was awesome.
We had two commercials. We have two commercials currently running in front of Captain America. We have our normal ad, which is back where you would expect it to see.
Yeah.
And then we have the new one that we made that you saw.
Right.
That Brooke was kind enough to put that in with the trailers.
Nice.
So we're running that with the trailers, which I think gets better views. More people are likely to see that.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was cool.
It was awesome.
I'm a little. Are you concerned? Is the wrong word. Surprised that nobody wrote us in. Nobody
wrote in this week, but. Since we don't have it, well, I'll just throw this in here.
Wait. Hold your thought.
Yeah.
Before David says something, for those of you who haven't seen the ad, there's this fun little ad that we played in the trailers, and the whole point of the ad is, what'd you think of this movie?
Right.
And podcast at penncinema.com to let us know what you thought of the movie. And I was a little surprised that nobody took us up on that.
Right.
Now, go ahead.
I was walking in here Friday night. Right?
Like the big shot that you are.
Like the big shot. Really what it was me half bent over with my back hurting, trying to stand up straight before I saw anybody I knew. But then I go to get to the door, so I'm hobbling like some sort of cripple.
Right.
And some guy opens the door. Nice guy.
Well, he was raised to open doors for old men.
Right. Yeah. He's like, look at this cripple.
Yeah.
This guy.
Look at this old dude.
This guy. It's more than just out of shape. He's
Right.
There's something wrong with him.
He's probably 100.
Yeah. And I walk through the door, and I'm halfway through the atrium.
Right.
And I hear, hey, love the podcast.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I turned around and I said, thanks. But he was already starting. He was like, yeah, I listen to podcasts all the time. I was like, thanks.
Oh my God, that's so
I would have
cool.
talked to him, but he was,
No, he was
ships in the night,
Ships in the night, and he was probably intimidated. I mean, I'm not saying that to be
Yeah,
funny.
he thought I was going to fall on him.
Well,
He's like, this guy could go down at any minute.
Right. Yeah, you got to watch that.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're too close to an accident that you're responsible.
Well, you got to be involved. You got to wait around for the cops.
Exactly. He had things to do. I get it. So shout out to the guy who said hi.
Yeah.
But that's the first time, because I didn't recognize him.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it didn't seem like he knew you. Not that he said I know Penn, but
Right.
But that's the first time at the theater I've been.
Most people who know me try not to. They keep that to themselves.
Well, or they preface.
Right.
I love the podcast. I'm sorry, but I know Penn.
Right. Even though Penn's on it.
Yeah.
Every week.
Every week. When is he not going to be on?
Right. How much longer are we rolling with the Penn element?
You going to keep that going?
Is that a thing now?
That's the angle? I thought 289 was going to be the switch.
Right. I thought we all agreed on that when we had the secret meeting 7 years ago.
So anyway.
All right. Well, that's all the news that's fit. Wait, what?
What? Yeah, there was no news this week. Well, there was news, but it was for a bunch of like streaming stuff.
Yeah.
So when are the Oscars? They're real soon, right?
You know, I
think that's a lot of it.
I had a meeting for the Red Rose Film Festival.
Yeah.
And at said meeting, I brought up our friends at Zootropolis. Can we just say Zoe?
Yeah.
Our friends at Zoe, how cool their ad was for the Oscars.
Yeah.
And then I saw their ad again later online, or maybe it was even during the show. At some point, I had regret that I had maybe blurted out the wrong date.
Oh.
So I don't know when the Oscars are.
Oh.
But I did confirm that the Zoe Oscar party, which looks super cool, is the night of the Oscars. It's not like a preview party or a recap party. It's
to watch
go
the
watch the
Oscars.
Oscars at Zootropolis on Water Street in Lancaster. It looks like a ton of fun, and I gave her props because, as we talked about last week, that little ad they wrote up that looked like The Brutalist, that was so cool.
I love it.
It was very cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's cool. I mean, I think it's soon.
It's coming up.
And I think that's why we're not hearing a whole lot, because I think there's going to be
You would think a couple Oscar experts like us, movie professionals,
the big ones,
cinema guys,
You
would think that we would know that, but you would be wrong.
You'd be wrong.
Again.
Yeah. Our finger is on the pulse of the news. We don't have time to look ahead or back.
I think 90% of the people who think that I would know stuff are wrong.
Are wrong. Yeah. And 90% of the things I say are wrong. So
No, just that one time.
just the one time.
Just that one time.
I was at dinner last night,
And they were like,
and my boy Ryan was like, "Yo, let's tell the story about how you were wrong."
and then all the kids came circling around. Tell
Yeah.
it again, David. Tell it
Yeah.
again.
And he's like, "Hold on, there's a group of beautiful women too. Let's
Right.
get them to it over here."
Let's get them to hear the story about
Yeah.
that time
Yeah.
when David was wrong. Which, folks, if you haven't heard about it, it's a good one.
It was
Right.
one of the best.
It was a dark and stormy night in Chinatown.
Yeah, it was the first of not a few
Right.
times that I've
Right,
ever been wrong.
right. The first of a few.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Well, I mean, I don't want to say that it'll never happen.
Wait, are you saying that you've been wrong again since, or are you
No,
just saying
potentially I could be
potentially?
wrong again.
Right. Theoretically,
Theoretically,
it could have happened.
You don't-
Statistically
if,
speaking.
if you speak in absolutes, they're bound to be broken,
Fantastic.
right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, all right. So there's no news, but there is
Good news.
good news that there is a ton of trailers this week.
Bad news is there's no news. The good news is there's a ton of trailers.
Yeah, and some pretty good ones.
Okay.
Some that I thought were
Terrible.
terrible.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to start us off?
Well, the first is a documentary about Andy Kaufman called Thank You Very Much. It looks interesting. There's 0% chance that
Right.
you're going to see it at Penn Cinema, but I feel like if I was in the mood and I came across it online somewhere, like on a streaming platform, I would probably watch it.
I thought the same thing. I'm not super invested in this time period of.
No, me neither.
SNL.
And I'm not at all invested in Andy Kaufman, but what caught my eye about this documentary is all the interviews with people about Andy. Like, I thought that was interesting. And I forget if it was Danny DeVito or there was somebody else who knew him really well, and they were quoted in the trailer saying, "I'm still trying to figure out who the real Andy Kaufman was." And that's an intriguing thing to say, you know.
Did you like the movie Man on the Moon?
Never saw it.
Really?
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it, but I didn't know who he was before watching it. I was too young.
You know, part of my problem is exactly what I just said I found intriguing is like I didn't watch Man on the Moon because I didn't really understand enough about the story of who this Andy Kaufman character is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I didn't find his stuff funny.
Right.
You know, and
I think the thing is that he was so weird, he never was off.
yeah.
Kind of how, in some ways, Robin Williams was so on all the time. You almost didn't know who the real Robin Williams was.
Right.
But all of his stuff was so eccentric, you knew that he was playing.
Right.
But with Andy, you never knew what, like, did he really think that he was playing, or was that, So
I thought this trailer was pretty good, and the movie looks interesting and whatever.
Yeah. Next up, we have a movie called Borderline. This is slated as a funny slasher movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're seeing jokes, and you're like, I mean, I guess that they kind of hit. And then they're like, from the people who brought you Cocaine Bear. And then you're like, oh, these are the only funny parts of the movie.
Right. Because before they said Cocaine Bear, they were like from the producer of Barbie and the producer of some other legit big movie. I forget what. And then they were like, and the writers from Cocaine Bear. And I was like, oh, forget it. I'm not watching this movie.
Yeah.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Right. Yeah. This is, it does look like the type of movie, like there were a couple parts I was like, but it does look like all the good one-liners are in the trailer.
Yes, I definitely had a couple of those like slow chuckles. Like
So the premise, just to be
thorough, professional.
Yeah, professional, as they say.
Professionale.
Yeah. It's about some sort of star of some sort, I think, and a fan that's like super obsessed who is convinced that he's so obsessed with her that he knows her, so he breaks into her house and he's like, we're getting married. And so he is so delusional, that's supposed to be the funny part. But then he's also kidnapping her. But he treats her fighting back as like a romantic squabble.
I agree that the movie looked decent and it had some qualities, you know, and I'm sure...
Decent's a strong word.
Decent's a strong word, but here's the thing that like... And I know this isn't really our shtick, but during this movie, I did feel as though, like, I took a little bit of offense on behalf of people who have mental illness in the form of borderline personality.
Oh.
Like, are we, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just struck me a little bit, like, and you named the freaking movie Borderline. You know what I mean? Like, there's people who have that. It's a legit disease. It's a legit problem. And it's not funny, and they don't kidnap famous, maybe some of them do, but I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt like playing into an easy target, you know?
Yeah.
And as soon as that thought crossed my mind, it kind of ruined the rest of the trailer for me. And I don't know if I'm being overly sensitive or whatever, but you know, it just that's how it hit.
I think it's easy to go where you're saying because it didn't have any redeeming qualities to make it like anything other than that.
Right. And to name, see, the thing that I had with this is to name the movie Borderline ties the character to borderline personality. Whereas if you had just named it like The Crazy Wedding Night or something, or The Fan or something, or The Super Fan, then you don't have to really think about the character having mental illness. You just think about the character being off the deep end in some vague sort of comedic sense. It's kind of like the difference between actual violence and comic book violence, or like, cartoon violence.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, as soon as you name it Borderline, then to me, that's just a little much.
I'm with you on that.
Plus, you're not good enough to do that.
You want to take us to the next one?
Sure. The next one of my favorite sort of what's the word I'm looking for? People look over The Accountant.
Yeah.
Starring Ben Affleck.
I've never seen it.
It's amazing. I loved it so much. I've seen it a couple times.
I've heard good things.
The Accountant 2 stars Ben Affleck, and his character's brother is played by John Barenthal.
Yeah.
And the movie opens April 25th, and this FBI agent is telling... So Ben Affleck's character is the kind of character who walks in a room and immediately processes every single bit of data and communication that's available to process, like instantly. Doesn't need to read to see it. He just immediately grasps it. And the FBI agent is like walking him through the story, like step by step, detail by detail. And he's like drumming his fingers on the table, like obviously quite bored. And she goes, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "I'm just waiting for you to finish," because like he already knew everything that she was trying to explain to him, but she didn't clue into that. And anyway, this is an amazing character. Ben Affleck's great in this role. John Barenthal, who he's been in a ton of other movies, but he plays the character's brother, and I'm glad that the sequel has, because the brother was a integral but smaller part of the first movie. So I'm glad that he seems to be now like a main part of the second movie.
So he played him in the first one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hated this trailer.
You hated this trailer.
Well, let me rephrase it. I didn't hate the trailer. I was bored. Like, it just felt like when it was over, I looked at the time and I was like, I thought that was like 7 minutes long.
Yeah, I don't know.
It just felt like it went for, and I'm not saying that the movie is going to be bad. I'm saying
the trailer
was not good.
Well,
because there were parts of it like I liked, like when they're talking and she's like, the FBI said, "Oh, this lady killed all the people in the room," and the brother's like, "Well, she didn't kill everyone."
Right.
And she says, "Well, how did you know?" And he just is silent because it was him. Yeah.
I will posit this. Mm-hmm. Give the listeners a second to.
I think next trailer I might be more on board, but this one I just didn't like.
This trailer was probably made by people who don't realize that some of the viewers didn't see the first movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I did not find it boring, but I was fully up to speed on the character before I even clicked start.
Right.
So, all right.
Yeah. Next up, we have Until Dawn trailer 2, which I think is an even better trailer than the first one.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It shows more about how the premise. First off, the premise is they go to this house, and every night something new tries to kill them, and then time rewinds and they start the night over again. And I think they're supposed to they have to survive until dawn, I guess, to get out, I'm assuming. But this one showed a lot more of like the monsters and then how the rewind mechanic. It's not, they don't just wake up like time, like literally they live it backwards.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I think this looks fun. I don't know that I'll watch it because of the genre it is, but I don't know that I'd be opposed to watching it if that it comes up.
Yeah, I totally agree. Great trailer. And what I always say about horror movies is I'll watch the horror movie if it's an actually interesting premise.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm on board.
Awesome.
Comes out in April from Sony. And next up, a biggie.
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon. What'd you think?
I think, okay, this is a mixed bag.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
I'm so glad you asked. I thought you'd never ask.
Please. I was going to tell the guy who held the door open about this, but he just ran away.
Right.
Yeah.
This is why you should never run away from David.
Yeah. I might have a trailer to talk about.
What if you fell on top of him and he was trapped under you and you're like, listen, as long as we got a minute, let me tell you about this trailer.
Yeah, I know.
I know this is super awkward, but let me tell you what I thought about How to Train Your Dragon.
That's why you're really here.
Right.
So I think that story-wise, costume-wise, it looks cool. I was thinking while I was watching it, I was like, I bet if this came out as live action before the cartoon, it might have been just as successful. Like it seems like, because it's a good story. I've seen the movie. It's a good story. The downside, I thought, is some of the scenes looked horrible. Specifically, the parts where he's meeting Toothless, and I guess the background's supposed to be some sort of shade of purple, but nothing looks real but the guy. Everything else looks real. Now, that could all be fixed before, it comes out. But I just thought that the graphics in some of the scenes looked so horrible. I was like, man, I really hope that's not the vibe of the whole thing, because it could be amazing given some of the other images. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Interesting.
That's my thought.
I don't know. You know how sometimes I say on this show that I don't feel qualified?
Yeah.
That's how I felt watching this.
You say that before we start every show.
Right.
You don't feel qualified for this.
Well, that's how I feel every show. I watched this trailer and I thought, cool, But I was thinking to myself, like, what are audiences going to do with this? Because it's such the animated version, the original version is such a I think you can call it a classic. I mean, it's certainly a big, leaves a big mark. So
There's 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah. And so I sort of feel like, kind of like what you're saying, like, what are people going to do with this? I didn't, and I guess the reason why I found myself asking that question is because I didn't find myself like engrossed.
Yeah.
I wasn't like personally excited to see it.
Yeah. This trailer, for me, all it did was say, oh yeah, that scene. Oh yeah, that scene.
Right.
But at no point did I think, I want to see this.
Right.
I just thought, that looks like it's done. Like, it looks like it could be cool.
Yeah.
For someone coming in, my thought process was someone who hasn't seen the movie.
Yeah.
They'll probably enjoy this. Yeah.
Time to do your job, marketing department.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we have a Bleecker Street movie starring Naomi Watts and Bill Murray and some gigantic dog named Bing.
Yeah. And now, if this isn't the most 90s movie you've ever seen a trailer for, am I right?
I guess.
Does this not feel extremely 90s coded?
It 100% feels like a 90s movie, and I never thought of that until you mentioned it.
Yeah. And that's not a bad thing.
No.
But it, like, at the time before superheroes and even huge blockbusters weren't as much of a thing, like, this was the type of film that was coming out on the reg all the time.
Like Meg Ryan, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
It should have been like You've Got Mail type of thing.
Right. I think it looks touching. I think it looks like it would be a really good, solid movie to see, but in a way that it's just middle of the road. I think it's just because it feels old.
0% chance I get through this movie without crying.
Oh, yeah.
This is a doozy.
That's I was thinking at one part, I was like, either this dog also dies.
No, stop it.
Or it gets sick.
No.
I was like, I don't know if I can handle it.
No, if anything happens to the dog, then I'm going to ask for my money back because that's bullshit.
Yeah, excuse me,
but
Mr. Manager.
Right. The movie is called The Friend, and the friend is the dog. And the premise is that Bill Murray...
no, the friend is Naomi Watts.
I thought the friend was the dog.
No, because they say she gets the dog because she was his best friend.
Right.
And she's like, she was the friend. There was no family, but she's the friend, so she inherits.
All right, well, we'll have to watch the movie because I interpreted it like the dog was the friend. Like the friend that she's going to need to get through her morning. So anyway, Bill Murray plays a dying old man who's in the movie apparently via flashbacks, I'm assuming.
Probably.
And the story is about Naomi Watts who, quote unquote, inherits the dog.
His dog
when he dies.
Yeah.
And she's at first quite reluctant, and then you assume that she finds solace because then they're like, well, the dog is mourning too. And then it's like, well, who's helping who? And then I'm sure that there's some conclusion that Bill Murray knew that she would need the dog to get through the mourning process.
Yeah. And it's made all the more crazy because it's a Great Dane, and that is quite the dog.
A gigantic.
Yeah, to take on. Especially in New York City.
Have you ever had a Great Dane?
No, but I know people have.
That's nuts.
They're huge.
Yes.
Huge. All right, next up, we have my trailer of the week.
My trailer of the week as well.
Nice.
Yes.
A24's
This looks crazy.
Friendship. And it's so bonkers. One of the things I love about this movie is it starts off very comical.
Yeah.
And all of the quotes they show are like horror.
Right.
It's a nightmare.
Absolute nightmare.
This is one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen.
Right.
And then, so it starts off comical, and then as the story turns more awful, the quotes become, it's the most hilarious movie of all time.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
This is an incredibly well done trailer about an incredibly promising movie.
Yeah, it's Tim Robinson, right?
No, Paul Rudd.
Yeah, but the other guy's Tim.
Oh, I don't know his
Oh
name.
yeah, he's big.
You know, this is one of those actors who you know, but you can't remember his name.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Tim Robinson from I Think You Should Leave, and Paul Rudd, and Tim Robinson's convinced by his wife to get to know Paul Rudd and join his friend group. And from what I get from the trailer, this might be off, after hanging out with them once or twice, he imagines a life of like longtime friendship with them, and then they reject him. And
Paul Rudd is like, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, we're not going to.
I don't think this is going to work out.
Yeah.
We had a couple good hangs, but he breaks it off, so to speak.
And then Tim Robinson goes wacky
Off the deep end.
because of it. Yeah, he
Right.
breaks. I think it looks so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. The movie is called Friendship. It's from A24. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to book it. This is going to be a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we have On Swift Horses.
Sony Pictures Classic, right?
Sony Pictures Classic, which I definitely watched this movie, but I'm blanking on it right now.
Okay, this is the one, I think it's the 40s-ish.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the premise is there's, I don't know if they're couples, but there's four people, 2 girls, 2 guys, and going through life, and then they wind up in either bi or queer relationships, and just like dealing with going against society.
A lot of people in their underwear, right?
Yeah, a lot of people in their underwear, a lot of passionate kissing, and there's horse racing.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's and they say we're always never more than a breath away from losing everything. And I was like, whoa.
And I think that they're forced. I think it's one of the things where the guys are forced. They're pushed towards the women, and vice versa, society wise. But then then they're opposite attract.
Interesting.
Type of situation on both ends. So it's called On Swift Horses. So there better be some damn horses in that movie.
Yeah. Last but not least, what's your worst trailer of the week this week?
I would say The Accountant 2, just because I was bored.
I would say borderline because they wrote from the writer of Cocaine Bear. And our trailer of the week is Friendship from A24. But bringing up the rear of the last movie on our list here is the Snow White. Trailer number 2 opens on March 21st, the same day as Penn Cinema's new bar opens. And it stars Rachel Zegler, Gal Gadot. And I thought it was interesting that it's rated PG. I don't know why I'm surprised by that, but so many movies nowadays are rated PG-13. It almost sticks out when you get a PG movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, this trailer showed a lot more of the dwarves. A lot more of everybody knows the story, so they don't have to sort of tell the story. But like it showed them the mirror on the wall.
More of the world.
More of the world, yeah. What did you think of all that?
I was already kind of sold on wanting to see it from the other one, and I thought it was good. I mean, it's got a little bit more, it's got different songs in it, or at least one different song.
Is it going to have Lin-Manuel Miranda? Fingers crossed, buddy.
But there were parts of it that I even audibly chuckled when she's like, just point me in the right direction, and all the doors point in different directions.
Right.
I think that this looks, for lack of a better term, cute.
I agree. It looks cute, but the word that I was going to use was promising.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm cautiously optimistic that this is going to do well and be well received.
The thing is, unlike the other Disney live action movies that have come down, that have tried to emulate the cartoons and not be a dark retelling, so that I'm counting out the Cinderellas, because I'm saying I think that this is an old enough property that doing it in live action does not make you sit and think, I've seen this movie a million times.
Yeah.
Where The Lion King, I feel like I've seen this a million. Aladdin,
right?
I've seen this a million times, and that's
Dune,
I've seen it a million times, right?
Godfather, all the same genre,
right?
Right.
Yeah. So, I'm hoping that means good things.
Well, it's only a few short weeks to find out.
Yeah. All right. Well, trailer of the week was Friendship. Worst trailer of the week were Borderline and The Accountant 2. There you go.
Oh, here we go. There's a lot of pressure.
Hold on.
This time I'm setting my watch. See, that time I missed it. I was so close.
You were so close.
And for Kayla, since I know you're listening, it is 2:34. No coincidence.
Really?
Right there, yeah. Okay.
34.
This week we reviewed Captain America: Brave New World. Dun 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 dun. dun. Thank you, guys. that was like a Muppets moment right there. All right, David. I mean, I saw it. You saw it.
Yeah.
I did see it.
Okay.
I'm not even going to try to play around.
Okay, yeah, I totally saw it. Yeah,
I
yeah.
watched it, and I just recently watched it. I watched it this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I finished it like an hour ago.
Did you sit through the trailer? For the
I did. I actually, before we get to the movie, I'll tell you something funny.
Yeah.
I don't know if other people do this, but I was all comfy cozy in my seat. I got settled in watching the credits because I was waiting for the stinger. And then I saw the stinger, and then the show was over.
Just sat there.
And then the lights were up, and the screen was blank, and the theater was empty. And I was just sitting there. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, almost like catatonic, like just sitting there spacing out. And then finally I was like, I guess I got to get up and go about my day. But I mean, I had the seat like all comfy, exactly you know, when you get at the perfect angle, you know?
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen to me a lot, but I know that happens sometimes to other people because we'll go in to clean a theater and there'll be somebody just sitting there.
Chilling?
Yeah.
Or asleep?
Well, either asleep or 9 times out of 10, they're on their phone. They were watching the credits, they pulled up their phone, started doing stuff, and then they didn't realize the movie was over. So anyway, Captain America, Anthony Mackie, Harrison Ford, what'd you think?
I thought this movie fulfilled my expectations of being good. I don't think it's great. I don't even know if I can really be like, you have to go see it. But I will say, if you are a fan of the Marvel franchise and you keep up with everything, then I think it's a must-see. Because what this movie does is, in its own story, it wraps up a ton of loose ends from other movies and other storylines, things that not necessarily don't deserve a movie or a TV show of their own, but things that people are always like questioning. How come they never bring this up? How come they never talk about the big thing in the ocean from the end of Eternals?
Right.
Like nobody ever addresses that. Or, how about what happened to the leader from The Incredible Hulk? And, of course, he's the big bad of this movie.
Yeah.
So I think that it does really well at doing that without being bad, because I don't think the movie was bad at all. I also think it did a really good job of being something that was enhanced by watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
However, you didn't need to see Falcon and the Winter Soldier to understand what was going on. You could just assume that Sam put on the suit and was still having problems not knowing all the like
features
stuff that he did to get there. Yeah. And I thought that's how it should be done.
Yeah.
You watch the shows and it gives you more of something without being completely required for the movie.
What'd you think of Joaquin Torres?
Oh, I thought he was good. I mean,
did I get that name right?
It's Joaquin. Yeah, Joaquin Torres, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was.
Was he in Winter Soldier? I don't think so. Maybe he was.
He was in. He was either. No, he was in.
I thought he was great. I thought he was.
He was in Winter Soldier.
I thought he was a great addition to the film.
But he didn't have the suit.
Right. He had his old suit from when he was Falcon. He had Captain America's old suit from when Captain America was the Falcon. At least that's what he said during the movie.
Right. He was wearing it, but he didn't have, like, at the end of Captain the Winter Falcon, I think he mentions that he has it.
Yeah.
But you don't see him put it on in that
No.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was great because I didn't see him coming, and at the beginning of the movie, I thought he was just sort of another guy in the control room. I didn't realize that he was going to be a character in the movie.
Did you watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
so
I don't remember who was in it, but I agree with your assessment, spot on, and the way that I sort of, like you said, you wouldn't tell anyone that they had to go see it. I totally agree. But if somebody was like, "What's a fun movie playing this weekend?" I'd be like, "Oh, Captain America, super fun." Harrison Ford was great. And I loved how his character kept trying to resist becoming the Hulk. And I love, you know, the stuff with the Hulk. I will say, and I don't usually catch stuff like this. I'm usually such an easy critic, but the scene where they're at Haynes Point and they're fighting, Captain America just looked. It just looked painful. I did not believe that he was there. I believed that he was standing in front of a green screen.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? And it was just like how every other unimaginable thing that happened in that movie looked real. Mm-hmm. You know, and then when he's standing on Haynes Point in Washington, D.C., I mean, my God, you could have gone to Washington, D.C. and filmed it and it looked more real.
Right.
Like, why is that one scene so out of place in terms of like the lighting and the coloring and
Was it all the cherry blossoms?
I don't know what it was. It was something weird. And then the other thing that I noticed, which I was curious if you noticed it, and therefore I was curious if it was on purpose. Did you think that Harrison Ford as pre-Hulk, as the president, I felt like there were a number of scenes where his skin tone looked ever so slightly red.
It was supposed to, because when he was getting angry,
Yeah.
it was supposed to look
Yeah,
like.
I thought they did a nice job with that. I thought his character was great. And then fill me in on the short little security agent lady. His head of security. Is that from Marvel lore or is that like a new character?
So it's kind of like, man, this is good.
Her name was like Ruth Skibit or something.
Yeah,
like
I don't
that.
know that she's anyone, to my knowledge, any person. What she's supposed to be is X Red Room, and the Red Room is in Black Widow. She was from the Red Room, and then her movie she took it down.
Okay.
And it was a bunch of basically super spy women that were brainwashed.
Gotcha.
So she's X.
Yeah. Okay.
So just like Yelena is in Thunderbolts, where she stands in the roster of.
How psyched are we for Thunderbolts?
I'm more pumped for Thunderbolts than any of the others.
And I saw that trailer again right before Captain America started, like I guess we all did.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, May 2nd, let's go.
Some of the interesting things is Bucky's running for Congress.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder how that'll wrap into.
I thought he was going to play a role in like settling down the Hulk or something.
Right.
The Red Hulk.
Or he was going to come.
I thought he was going to have something to do in the dramatic end of the movie.
And I was thinking through certain things in during the movie, and because there was like parts I was like, how come we aren't seeing like anything else, any other heroes? And then I was like, oh, they strategically chose locales that make sense. Like no other heroes really operate out of DC. So even if, because my thing was like, oh, maybe the Hulk will show up at the end to fight Red Hulk. But then I was like, well, he's nowhere. Why would he be in DC? Like,
where does he operate out of?
Well, I mean, in previous Avengers stuff, he was in New York, working in the tower. But I don't know where he is.
I feel like the Hulk could just hop down take I-95 down to DC.
Right. But then also the fight takes place in a very short period of time.
Yeah. No,
it's not like you know what I mean? It's like
the whole movie's pretty short,
right? In
terms of the time elapsed.
And so they don't ever call him the leader in the movie, but that's the name of the villain.
I thought he was great.
Yeah.
He's the guy from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Right.
That's where everybody knows him from.
Yeah.
His character was amazing. And what was his line? Oh my God, it was so good. I can't believe I forgot it. Where when he confronts the guy who had analyzed the pills.
Yeah.
Oh, he delivers it. I'm sorry that
Don't you know who I am? I'm the hero, that part?
Yeah. He says, don't you know I'm the hero?
And I thought he was going to say, I'm the leader, because that's what he's called.
Well, he's just the ugliest, meanest, baddest looking dude.
Yeah.
Not in like a cool, sexy way, just in an ugly way. And he's got the hoodie on and the dark glasses, and he says, don't you know who I am? I'm the hero. So
that he's a loose end. You probably don't remember, which is fine. I don't think a lot of people do, but from the Hulk. He was a character in the movie The Hulk. And he helped try and depower Bruce, and then he created the Abomination, and he had a bunch of blood samples from Bruce. And when he created the Abomination like smacked him into a wall that had the blood, Bruce's blood, and he gets a cut on his head, and the blood drips into the wound.
I hope we see more of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we will.
Yeah, and I hope we see more Harrison Ford.
So, okay, that's my one complaint is, and it's not because he's bad, it's the casting of Harrison Ford as Red Hulk.
Because he's so freaking old.
So old. And not just that he's old and a megastar.
Right.
Because I wonder, he's got to be expensive to get around. So now they can get around that by just having it be just like they do with Hulk a lot of the times, where he's just always hulked out.
Yeah.
You know, because and I feel like they didn't really go into a lot of like, well, he wasn't comic book accurate, I guess is what I'm saying, which is fine. You got to let go of that. But in the comics, he retains his personality, and he's still just Thunderbolt Ross, hulked out. And when he gets angry, he doesn't get stronger; he gets hotter. So he like puts off like heat radiation. So anyway, small tidbit that really doesn't matter at the end of the day, but it matters to me.
I was just going to say, but it matters to you.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to say Captain America: Brave New World, best movie I've ever seen.
Best movie I've ever seen.
Ever. So what are we watching next week?
I guess we're watching Unbreakable Boy.
What's that about?
It stars the guy that played Shazam, and it's a tearjerker about a boy with some kind of obstacles, and Shazam helps him.
How do I not know about this one?
I don't know what to
Is it
tell
really
you.
the only thing coming out of outside of the monkey?
Yeah, outside of the monkey. Yes.
Is there anything that we missed?
Well, we talked about maybe wanting to watch Heart Eyes.
We already talked about The Companion, right? You
No,
did?
we both saw it, but we
I
didn't
didn't see it yet.
All right, let's talk about that next week.
What do you want to do, The Companion or Hard Eyes? What do you want to do?
Companion.
Because you don't have to see a movie this week.
Because then, I'm not sure I really want to see Heart Eyes.
Well, it looked funny, but...
All right, let's watch Hard Eyes. Let's watch. I have no idea if it's funny or not, but I do kind of want to see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is the only way
Right.
that we're going to see it. All right, so next week we're watching Hard Eyes.
Are you staring at me, calculating the odds that I see it?
A little bit.
Because I'm staring at you, calculating the odds that you see it.
I was also thinking about which one can I watch after this. Which one has a close enough show. All right. Well, we didn't get any feedback this week, other than the cool guy that opened the door for me.
Love that guy.
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
What a guy.
Yeah.
He's basically fan of the week.
I hope he writes in, and then we can name him Door Guy.
Yeah, door guy.
Yeah, Door Guy, if you're listening to the show, let us know what you thought of Captain America.
Yeah, or whatever it was you saw when you were here.
Yeah.
Or did you just come to see me?
And
That's
why
probably
you
what it
ran away
was.
from David so quick.
Why do you run away from me?
Why do you hate us?
We could have hugged it out, but instead you ran away.
Oh my God. All right. Yeah.
That brings me to
Yes.
the most important question of the day. And sometimes I sit at night on my bed
Yes.
staring at the wall with just the one little nightlight I have on. It's a dinosaur nightlight. And I'm just looking at the shadows on the wall, and I'm thinking, Penn, what's up with you? Was safe. I noticed that you bundled up. Is it cold?
I bundled up, David. I've been watching a murder mystery that takes place in Norway.
Oh,
Called the RA Murders.
resident
And
assistant.
here's the-
president.
No, it's the word is spelled ARE, but it has like a weird little Norwegian thing over the A.
Oh, I bet it would.
So I don't know how it's pronounced. But here's an interesting thing about this show. It's not very good, but I keep watching it because I want to know what happens.
Oh,
You know the
I've been
type?
there.
Yeah. And I can specifically put my finger on what's not good about it. I think it's great. The plot is interesting. The characters are interesting. Like it's shot on location in Norway. Like it's a really interesting movie. Problem is it's a Norwegian film with English dubbed characters. And most of them are fine, but there's one main character whose voiceover actor is freaking awful.
Everyone's normal, and this guy's like,
Yeah, it's just everybody else does what you would want them to do, which is says their lines without making you realize that they're an American voicing over Norwegian.
right.
This guy somehow makes you immediately wonder how he got the job. You know what I mean? And I even tried, David, I tried switching over to, and this is how I'm watching it now, but it doesn't, I don't really enjoy the experience, but I now have it where the audio is Norwegian. And I'm basically just reading,
Subbed, yeah.
I'm just reading this show, which is fine, except that the show isn't good enough that I want to commit to watching it. I want to have it on while I'm doing other stuff.
And now you got to fully pay attention.
But because it's in Norwegian, I got to fully pay attention. So I got to either choose to read it with the Norwegian or tolerate the bad voiceover actor.
Ooh.
As you can see, this is a painful thing.
Yeah.
I further want to comment while I have the floor.
Go on.
This thing seems to be 8 episodes.
Yeah.
At the end of the 6th episode, they catch the bad guy and solve the crime. The 7th episode opens with the two of them working on a fresh, brand new case with so far, no apparent tie back to the murder that we solved at the end of episode 6. So I'm wondering, like, what are you telling me? And I'm going to be pissed if I'm right. Are you telling me that episodes 7 and 8 is the story of how the two main characters fall in love and go on to live happily ever after solving crimes?
What kind of romance doesn't go that way?
You need 2 episodes, like tack that on to the end of episode 6 and we're done.
You know what's going to happen.
Tell me.
They wrapped it up in episode 6.
Right.
Episode 7 was started something new that
Right.
seems unconnected.
Right.
End of episode 8, they're going to be like, "Oh my God,
It's the same guy. Right.
It was us who killed him the whole
Right,
time."
right.
You know, and then one of them's evil.
But
or something.
you can see the dilemma I'm in. I got to keep watching it.
You only have one more episode.
Right. 1.5.
Oh boy.
Because I kid you not, I fell asleep during episode 7.
Well, you were reading.
So I'm gonna, right. Yes.
So, I mean, I don't know what you expected to happen.
I feel like we should wrap up the show on that that perfect comment.
Yeah.
Yes, I was reading, so naturally I had no choice but to fall asleep. 2 shows that are not sleeping through. One is called Paradise with his coolest actor, and he's got a cool ass name to go with it.
David Moulton again.
Yes, and the movie is or the show. Anyway, I'm not even going to bother explaining. It's on Hulu. It's called Paradise. You'll recognize the 2 main characters. I don't remember each of their names.
Perfect.
It's super cool. It's a murder mystery. I mean, it's got all kinds of other stuff going on, but there's a big twist that I'm not going to reveal at the end of episode 1, which I was all in for. Now you get Hulu, right?
Yeah, I can
in
watch
the
this.
Loaf. Yeah,
I can watch this.
I recommend it.
Loaf of Yof, my friend.
Loaf of Yof. And then last but not least, like everybody else in the world, Amy and I are now regulars on the Severance train.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're not fully caught up, but she's traveling this weekend. So we did have an agreement of how many episodes we can watch while we're on separate TVs. So we're going to meet, we're going to watch 3 and 4, and we'll meet back for episode 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? That's compromise.
That's the key to a
marriage.
successful marriage
Yeah.
right there. It's planning out your binging.
You got to do it that way, or danger, stranger. is
No,
coming.
the alternative is to binge the entire show.
Yeah.
But then you have to rewatch it pretending you haven't seen it before.
Right, which is so healthy.
Right.
Secrets.
Wait a minute.
Are great.
Is that frowned upon? Wait, let me write that down. That's good to know. So secrets are great.
Great.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, David, what's with you?
Let me tell you what's with me. A lot of the same things that were with me.
I feel like you just cut and pasted last week's.
Well, I didn't even bother changing much. So I will say Stone of Tears, Stardew Valley, still going on. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I just want to comment. Look, if you're into the Marvel Spider-Man stuff, it's really churning out to be pretty good.
And that's on Disney, obviously.
Disney. It's anime. I don't know. Wouldn't recommend it for you.
No,
I think you wouldn't find it interesting.
It's a lot of reading.
Yeah, it's a lot of reading. But if you are, in your 40s and still watch cartoons like I do,
Yeah.
no big deal.
Totally normal.
Yes, no big deal. It's got some pretty good Spider-Man world building and stuff, and I've been enjoying it. Now, I also want to say Invincible. Oh man, the show so good. And it does these like little things that you don't even realize are like amazing. But one of the quirks of the show, you know how like Marvel has stingers and stuff. Well, they kind of not mock, but kind of like make fun of that. So every episode has a stinger, but the stinger will be like 5 minutes long. And so basically what it is like something will happen and it'll be like dun, dun, and the credits will roll and you'll see 2 credits and then either it'll be a side story like of other characters that you hadn't follow up on, or it'll be like 5 more minutes of the scene you were just in to show a little bit more. But in the last episode, it was like it came up on to it did 2 things. It hit the credits. And then it was like 20 minutes of like other characters far away that you just, that the main character wasn't a part of.
Right.
That would pertain to the main character next week. And then the real credits round. But they also do this thing where the show normally doesn't have a narrator or anything. But anytime like they get to like, it starts to get spicy, the narrator were like, let's just give them some privacy and check on these other characters for a little while.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so it's just these little quirk things. So anyway, Invincible, really good. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah. I want to just follow up for those who are burning with questions.
Yes.
I did communicate with Frodo, and she gave me a literal Bible's length of information about Stardew Valley.
Thank God.
Your boy's in the know.
I'm glad we checked that box.
Yeah, thank God. So, no, but I was really thankful for that. So, thanks. All right. Next week, we are watching Hard Eyes.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun.
dun.
So, cool. Look, if you want to be a part of the show, the best way to do that, Penn.
Podcast@penncinema.com.
That's right. That's our new email, podcast@penncinema.com. And if you want to support the show, what's the number one way to do that?
Well, I don't know why you're asking me, David, because you, I think, are well aware of the fact that you started a whole new trend. Your little visit to Nebraska started a whole new thing. And so I was out doing my weekly grocery shopping the other day and pulled out a box.
Yeah.
Now, there was one box with your picture on it, as we discussed earlier.
You tried to burn it on the site.
I pushed it immediately back in and pulled out another box.
Yeah.
And what had happened on that box was somebody had taken a Sharpie and drawn your likeness on the Wheaties box.
That's crazy.
If you want to be part of the cool kids, what you got to do is you got to take next time you get your little grocery list and you get your reusable bags, because only losers use plastic bags anymore. Take your little bag, go to the store, pull a little Wheaties box off, and draw David's likeness with a little, thought bubble, that says, listen to the Penn Cinema podcast.
Yeah.
And, then you'll be in with all the cool kids.
Yeah.
And it's wild how you had that meeting in Nebraska, but we're seeing most of the Wheaties boxes coming out of California.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Wild times.
Yeah.
But if you don't like Wheaties or breakfast, then first of all, I'm not sure we can be friends. But second of all, then the way you could support the show is to just tell a friend how much you enjoy the show.
Yeah. And tell them to eat Wheaties.
Right, obviously.
Right.
Is that still a thing? Is Wheaties still a cereal?
Wheaties is still a cereal, but I can't say that I've watched TV in a long time. I don't know that it's advertised like it used to be.
Because that's like an expression. You got a big day, you better eat your Wheaties.
Right.
But I'm not sure anybody even has Wheaties anymore.
I can't remember the last time that I had Wheaties.
Right. I'm not sure I ever did.
It's just bland
Because
cornflakes.
growing up, we weren't allowed to have name brand cereal.
But it's not, well, okay, yeah.
We had like
it's not a sugar
It's not
cereal.
sugary, but it's still name brand.
Name brand.
And so if you wanted Wheaties, you had Eaties, which I'm sure were disgusting. Just like Crisp Rice was disgusting and Odeos was disgusting.
The worst.
And anyway,
How did your parents not wind up in jail?
So I never had Wheaties growing up, and then as an adult, I never wanted them.
Yeah. When your kids asked for them, you said no.
Right.
We're a non-name brand family.
My kids were forced immediately to eat only brand name cereals.
Yeah. You're like, I'm going to correct this.
Some people are like their parents, and some people are a reaction to their parents.
Yeah.
When it comes to breakfast foods, I am a reaction.
The girls were like, I just want Oreos.
Oreos. You'll eat your Honey Nut Cheerios, and you'll like it.
You'll like it.
And you'll put some sugar on it while
Yeah.
you're there, and pour chocolate milk in it.
That's why they both have dentures. They'll deny it when you ask them, but both of them.
Right.
Full veneer dentures. Yeah. It's true.
I don't think you can't prove a link.
All right. Well, once again, for the Penn Cinema Podcast, I'm David Moulton.
I'm Penn Ketchum. Take care and party on.
Thanks for joining us this episode. Our hosts would love to hear from you. To contact the show with your thoughts and reviews, email podcast@penncinema.com. This podcast is a production of Penn Cinema. Escape to the movies at Penn Cinema, featuring crisp digital projection, killer sound, reserved seating, and premium power recliners. With locations in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, Wilmington, Delaware, and Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. Showtimes and tickets available at www.penncinema.com.